All right, hello and welcome everybody to the Rusty Misfits Racing League Falcon Graphics paved mini stocks. Tonight we have an exciting race ahead of us. We've got the mini stocks on the Bullring at Las Vegas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are a stone's throw away from the Strip. All the biggest casinos, all the biggest live entertainment you can ever wish to go see. And we are a few miles away here at the Bullring racing tonight. Here in the broadcast booth, though, I have a special guest with me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hunter Wellman, driver of the number 64, in the booth with me tonight. Hunter, how is it going tonight?
Not too bad, Tom.
Well, thank you for joining me. I do understand that you do not own the track, so you decided to hop in the booth and get some practice and get your chops a little refined here on the broadcasting side of things.
Yeah, I'm preparing for next season where I'll be in a more active role on the broadcast side. And if everybody tuned in to the Bullring last season, it was a very good race. So we're hoping to see some more action here tonight.
Absolutely. We're looking at the leaderboard right now. Dustin Buck on the top of the board. Logan McNitt was very close there for a bit, but Larsen Parker coming in kind of hot there. Larsen didn't make the Legends race, nor did Dustin, thankfully. What was that?
For those who missed it, me and Tom were in a heated battle on the Legends side at South Boston. Tom fighting for third place in points, and I'm just fighting to stay alive in that series. Dean Qualley ended up taking the win, solidifying his third place position over Tom Quiring. I managed a runner-up position, and Tom Quiring managed fourth.
Absolutely, but Hunter, we are coming down to the last couple of minutes here, so what do we say we do the national anthems and get this show going?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see we rule the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again here, getting ready to get going for our first heat race. Let's take a look at our starting lineup as we get ready for our cars to grid up on the field right now. On pole position by lucky draw is that 60 car of Logan McNitt. Thomas the Tank Engine, Dean Qualley right behind him there, giving him a friendly little tap on the back bumper, just saying, how do you do? Those guys have been having a bit of a friendly rivalry this season. Outside of Logan McNitt, though, in the 38 Dodge Avenger is Matt Moreau. Row number 2, we spoke about him just a second ago here, Dean Qualley in that 17 Ford Fox Body Mustang. Dustin Buck in 4th place here with that 68 machine, and bringing up at the back of this 5-car field is the points leader, Larsen Parker, actually making it to tonight's race here in the Mini Stock Series after missing the Legends just a few moments ago.
Yeah, we've got some real heavy hitters in tonight's heat. Dean Qualley, Mini Stock champion, Dustin Buck, former ARCA champion, and Larsen Parker in the back row, who is leading the points in both the Legends and Mini Stock Series.
Well, and Larson, the winningest driver so far this season, but he doesn't have a huge gap over second in points, Dean Qualley. So it's definitely going to shake things up here with the heat race if Dean can get ahead and get a good starting position for our feature race.
Yeah, Dean has had to earn all of his points this season. He has climbed through the field more times than I can count. He has not been very lucky with cautions and pill draws this season, but we are underway. Green flag in the air.
Absolutely. Good start on the bottom of that front row for McNitt, getting out to an early lead. Dean getting a little bobbled up there. Parker trying to make a move to the inside. Thought better of it. Now he's going to make contact with Buck and turn Buck around. No caution flags in these heat races. That's kind of I'll say a little bit of an underhanded. I don't think that was intentional on Parker's part. But that's one way to make sure some of your closest competition can't really touch you in your feature race.
That may be true, but he's sitting 4th in a 5-car heat. Dustin will grid up right behind him for the feature. He's going to have to watch out.
Absolutely. You know, we got Dustin back here. He's still trying to recover from that spin there. Logan McNitt still in the lead. Dean Qualley, though, taking advantage of that little bit of a dust-up all around him. Now sitting nice and comfortably in second. Got a couple of cars between him, or at least one car between him and Larsen Parker.
Yeah, just as we mentioned earlier, he's had to fight for every position, every point this season. Able to work his way up from 3rd or 4th to 2nd early on in this heat, now chasing down the leader.
Well, he is running out of time to do it. There's 3 laps to go in this heat race. McNitt comfortably holding on to the lead right now. He's up by about 0.4 of a second.
Larsen Parker in the wall there, trying to defend from Matt Moreau.
Well, Matt looks like he's going to have the preferred bottom line here. Parker getting a decent run off of turn number 4 there, but Moreau going to clear him going into turn 1.
He'll look for the crossover. He'll get alongside going into turn 3. He'll take the inside line from him, but he won't get clear. Maybe he will.
Final lap, Moreau going for the crossover once again. Hunter, that is the move I tried pulling on you unsuccessfully in the Legends race. Saw Parker pull that move to perfection right there as the checkered flag is coming out. Logan McNitt will win heat race number 1. Dean Qualley holding on for 2nd. Larsen Parker bringing it home for 3rd. Just ahead of Matt Moreau, and Dustin Buck, after getting tangled up with that 18 car, is going to settle for 5th place.
Yeah, that is definitely going to throw a wrench into Dustin Buck's plan tonight.
Well, we are now getting ready for heat race number 2. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. On pole position, Brad Stefane in that 89 car has pole position. Justin Bullring in that 666 machine there. Word is that this might be his last race in the Rusty Misfits Racing League for a time anyways. Decided he wants to take a little bit of time away from sim racing and kind of get things straight, but waiting to see what happens with that 666 machine. And hopefully we'll see him back out here. In 3rd place, so row 2, Mick Olsen on the inside, 75 machine. We're going to have to keep an eye on that 75 car. He seems to kind of keep quiet and then all of a sudden be there sometimes. So have to keep an eye on and see what that 75 machine can do. Outside of him is the 33 of Austin Strang, who finished third. After I gifted it to him, I should add, in the Legends race earlier. But let's see if he can keep that momentum going here in the mini stocks race.
Austin Strang Austin Strang able to capitalize off of the mistake that Tom Quiring had on the last lap, trying to pull a crossover and getting his front bumper all tangled up. But nonetheless, lights are off on the pace car. They'll go through 3 and 4 one final time before taking the green flag. 10 laps here for the heat.
Absolutely.
This will determine the outside line.
Outside line for the 75 lap feature here. Green flag in the air. Good jump on that outside from Bullring. That could potentially, that could be a bit of a penalty there. The leader is supposed to get to the line the first time across the line. But looks like Stefan's going to be able to get back around there. That should be all right. I don't know if there'll be any issues with that one, considering Stefan got back around to the lead by the time they got to the line.
Yeah, Justin Bullring given the position back, now trying to look to the inside for that. I see no foul play on that start. Brad Stefan way up in the wall. Justin Bullring will take back the lead. Mick Olofsson now in second. Brad Stefan falling way back to third.
This is the way Justin wants this race to go. Good run rate now here, up ahead of Olofsson. And I should mention here, Bullring has a bit of a cheering section in the comments right now. Ray Unca Andrews, who said he had to take a couple of weeks to get settled down in his new place there, watching us online. Thank you for joining us, Ray, and we miss you, buddy. We want to see you back out there on the track with us.
We miss you very much. But while Justin was leading, Mick Olofsson from second spun around. He's now in the back of the pack. He'll have to climb his way through again if he wants a better starting position.
That puts Brad back up in second in that 89 machine. Austin Strang running third right now. Remember, this does set our outside line for our feature lap, as we see Brad just brush the wall there a little bit coming off turn number 2. But right now, the fella in the catbird seat, as old DW used to say, right now is that 666, that bright yellow car. Not a color we're used to seeing that 666 in. Out on the point. One more time at the line. He's just got to run one more lap around this track, and he'll have the outside pole position.
Yeah, Justin Bullring has all the clean air he could ever need and a huge gap to second place.
1.1 seconds right now to be exact.
Justin Bullring will win Heat 2 and take the outside pole for tonight's race.
Bad Brad Stefan holding it on to second place just ahead of Austin Strang. Mick Olofsson looking like he was coming up to put some pressure on that 33 machine, but we'll have to settle for a tail end of the field start in our feature race here, which we are getting ready to go on. So why don't we bring up our starting lineup? Logan McNitt, heat race number 1, starting on the pole position. Justin Bullring, we just watched him take that checkered flag in dominating fashion in the heat race number 2. Second row sees a 17 Ford Mustang of Dean Qualley, with Brad Stefan on the outside in that 89 machine. This is a car we're going to have to keep an eye on this entire race here. The 18 car, Larsen Parker, starting inside of row 3 with Austin Strang in that 33 machine. That white and black car you see right there, outside of him in 6th place. Bringing up 7th will be the 38 Dodge Avenger of Matt Moreau, with Mick Olofsson on his outside. That 75 car, we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that one as well. We never know what that Mick Olofsson's going to do. Bringing up the back of the pack here, after getting spun off the nose of that 18 car in his heat race, bringing up tail end Charlie here is the 68 of Dustin Buck. Hunter, we got 9 cars on the field right here, going 1 to green next time by. Where is your money? Who do you think's going to win this?
I think my chips are off the table for this one. You have guys all throughout the field that are perfectly capable of winning tonight. Dustin Buck, winning some of the previous races, is starting in the back, definitely hungry to get to the front of the field. Mick Olofsson in the Legends broadcast said he was disappointed with his current run and point system, and he was itching to get back to the podium.
Well,
Larsen
we are
Parker,
green flag. Bullring getting a little bit squirrely there as McNitt washed up a little bit. I don't know if there was contact or not, but now Bullring middle of 3 wide. Quality on the bottom, Stefan on the outside. They get it settled out. Bullring kind of having to settle for third. Oh, a little bit of a bumper to the 17 machine there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but a little bit of contact. But look at who is now up battling for third place.
Justin trying to assert his position early. Once you start on the outside, it is very hard to drop down. You're going to have to take any chance you can get at trying to get to that lower line around here.
Justin had been able to get down to the bottom, did not have the momentum. Dustin Buck was right there, got the back bumper to him just a little bit, got him a little bit up the racetrack. Buck got around. Now Bullring able to close the door on the 38 of Moreau. But look at this, 4th place starter, Brad Stefan, in that 89 car, falling even further back.
Yeah, that outside line has proved to be almost fatal for some of these drivers. It will kill your early race speed.
But the person that was enjoying all that mess going on at the beginning was this guy right here, that Thomas the Tank Engine car, Logan McNitt, up in the lead, managed to hold on to it, but Dean Qualley there, he is looking to try to get everything he can. He needs every bonus point he can get to try to gain ground on that 18 car, who is sitting in 3rd place.
It didn't take very long for our main championship leaders to find their way to the top.
No, and Dustin Buck for starting dead last in this 9-car field. He is up 5 positions into 4th. Now he is looking to try to take 3rd place away from Parker.
He isn't going to give him any chance there. Larsen, maybe not intentionally, but made contact with him in the heat and caused him to finish last. I'm sure Dustin remembers that very clearly.
Oh, definitely be on the driver's mind as we have a pass for the lead. Dean Qualley has gotten to the inside of McNitt. Still on the outside, though, McNitt fighting hard. But I am going to give that one to Dean Qualley there off of turn 4.
Our top 4 now super close together. Might be able to throw a blanket on him. Logan will go a little high in the straight, opening the door for Larsen Parker. He'll send it down into turn 3. He'll have it at the apex and looks like he'll get clear on the front straight. Dustin Buck now below the 60, trying to take that position, and he will. Our top 3 is now Dean Qualley, Larsen Parker, and Dustin Buck.
That is a mistake that McNitt is going to regret right there. Washed a little bit high going into the corner. That allowed that 18 car to pull in underneath him. Cost that 60 car 2 places at the end of that maneuver. And now we got another battle for the lead. Parker is there on that back bumper of the 17 machine.
Larsen and Dustin are charging hard. Larsen will look to the inside. Maybe be able to get a bumper underneath the 17. He'll maybe get a little bit more, actually. He'll be side by side going down into turn 3. Dustin Buck closely behind. Larsen able to get ahead of the 17. The 68 trying to sneak behind, trying to take 2nd place away.
Yeah, Dean's got his hands full right now trying to fend off that 68 machine. Now the 60 car as well there. Logan McNitt trying to take 3rd place away from Qualley. Not quite able to do it. Qualley was able to slam that door on that 60 car. Meanwhile, a little bit further back here, Mick Olofsson kind of quietly moving his way up into 5th place behind this battle. Matt Moreau, Brad Stefan kind of battling it out just behind Olofsson.
Stefan trying to use a little bit of that bumper there, trying to get Matt Moreau to the high line, but it hasn't worked yet. He'll look to the inside instead. He'll try to go low into turn 3. And it'll work. He'll get clear of the 38.
Moved Brad Stefan up into 6th place there after starting 4th. He is slowly starting to recover, but not fast enough. We're 17 laps into this 75 lap feature. he is running out of time. We're looking like we're going to go green flag for a good portion of this race, the way things are running right now. Hopping on board with Dustin Buck as he puts some pressure on our race leader right now, Larsen Parker. These guys have not gotten very far away. Parker able to pull away from Buck here the last couple of laps. In fact, the top three have kind of spread out just a little bit. Quali holding on to third there over McNitt. Let's hop back here to our Justin Walbring here in that 666 machine. He kind of faded. He started outside pole position, just kind of faded through the field, but now he's starting to work his way back up there. Got past Austin Strang. Now he's closing in on Matt Moreau and Brad Stefan.
Yeah, starting out on the outside wasn't ideal for him. Got shuffled to the back, but yeah, like you said, he's making time on the rest of the field right now.
Well, and if you talk with Justin, he'll straight up admit that asphalt racing is not his forte. He doesn't mind coming out and racing on the hard surface. But you throw that boy in a dirt car on a dirt track, and he is a pig in mud, as it were. He is happy as a clam, loves that slipping and sliding feeling on the dirt more than he does coming out here on the asphalt. So.
Yeah, I understand Justin on that side completely. I have never been the greatest fan of racing on asphalt. You put these things on dirt and I will run 150 laps in a row.
Well, the thing with you, Hunters, I've kind of started to ignoring you. When you say, I'm not good at this, and all of a sudden you're out there running fast laps.
Well, I'm pretty decent at asphalt. I just prefer...
We got Brad Stefan way high coming off turn number 4 there. That's going to allow Olofsson coming down to the inside of him. Brad not having a very solid race here in the mini stocks. He's usually far better than this. Ooh, light contact there.
Little rub coming out of 2. They'll stay side by side coming out of 4. Maybe Mick Olofsson by a couple of inches at the line. But now that's allowed Matt Moreau and Justin Walbring to catch up to this pack. A 4-car battle for 5th.
Yes, sir. Here, Walbring's starting to get a feel for the car here at the Bullring. You know, this track, it's a 3/8 mile, not overly highly banked, but there's enough banking in the corners to get you by. But right now, you got to rely on that mechanical grip of those tires to get around these corners.
Yeah, these tires don't do too bad, but they do fade. You need to keep an eye on them, especially in the later stages of the race.
Now we got Walbring working on Stefan 4th, 6th, or 7th position there. Does so successfully. Brad just not having a very strong race tonight.
I may believe he overcooked his tires just a little on the start. He may have used even more trying to keep up with the rest of the pack, and it's just not boding well for him at the moment.
Well, that is a definite possibility. The harder that you run these cars, especially these mini stocks, because they don't have a lot of tire underneath them. They're very narrow tires, very, very easy to overrun. And
Brad Stefan pulling off the track.
And we just watched right there, Walbring looking to make it 3 wide, right in the middle between Olofsson and Moreau. These guys are holding that 666 up.
A very intense battle here for the last top 5 position.
Moreau on the outside there, once I could get the right name here, I'm trying to say Justin on the inside, following that 75 machine of Olofsson down past him. Right now, Moreau is holding him steady on the outside, but how long is he going to be able to... there's my answer, or my questions answered. Not very long.
Like, he was trying to make it work using the run he'd get on the straight. He'll get alongside again. Will he be able to hold it this time?
Well, that time was because Justin was held up by the 75. You saw Justin give the 75 the front bumper just a little bit going into the corner. Justin's got a lot more pace in that car than the cars around him are allowing him to run.
Yeah, but the move he made will cost him the inside lane. It's now Justin on the top and Matt on the bottom, competing for that spot.
Looks like we might have a battle for the lead here. Dustin Buck has once again reeled in our leader, Larsen Parker. And will he have anything, though?
He'll look to the inside. He'll throw the car down. Larsen Parker blinking. He'll get alongside, coming to the line.
Parker at the line
Dustin
had the
Buck
lead, but
throws
Buck
in the
has the
corner.
entry.
The 68 is giving it his all right now, trying to clear the 18. He will for a second, but the 18 will try for the crossover. He'll send the car into one, getting alongside again, clearing the 68.
Buck thought about pulling the crossover right there, but thought better of it. He doesn't want that 17 car, Dean Qualley, getting involved in this fight and making it a three-way battle. But Dustin definitely wants to try to take advantage of these lap cars coming up. We got the 33, Austin Strang, right ahead of our leader right now. Parker pulls to the inside, allows the two leaders going around the inside of our first lap car. Strang doing a good job not getting in their way.
Yeah, but now Larsen, the 68, will have to contend with the pack, trying to get 5th place. Matt Moreau, Justin Walbring, and Mick Olofsson.
They are very close ahead of there, yeah, absolutely. And as you see, Walbring just ahead of our leaders right now, right behind that 38 machine. There's Dustin Bucks looking to the inside once again here going into turn 3.
He'll throw the car, and Larsen will back off, looking to make a crossover. He'll get ever so slightly alongside, and he'll throw the car into the corner, taking that low line, making contact with the 68.
Ooh.
68 will lose all of his momentum. He will not be happy about that one.
Yeah, now
Austin
he's got to contend
Strang
with
now
that
right at
lap
it.
car of the 33 machine there. Dean Qualley not that far behind, but that puts a second gap between him and Parker when he was just a lap ago right on his bumper fighting for the lead.
The gap to Dean is almost as close as the gap between Dustin and Larsen. He's really going to have to defend his second place position.
But Parker's got a problem ahead of him. 3 lap cars that are all fighting for position. And these guys have no requirement to get out of the leader's way. They can sit there. They can continue to fight their battle, race their race. The leader's got to find their way around. And that lap right there, 1 and 2 right there, cost Parker so much time. Buck almost right back on the back bumper of that 18 car.
Yeah, the lap traffic being in the middle of a large fight, it would be almost impossible for them to all move out of the way for the leaders.
Well, that's
Dustin
gonna,
Buck definitely wants to see this, though. He's almost closed the gap. Less than a car length between him and the leader. Justin Walbring letting Dustin Buck by here in this next set of corners.
Walbring
Olofsson
moved
also
up, yeah,
going high.
and same with Olsen, moved up to let the leaders go by there. The advantage was to Walbring for a second, but Moreau, wise move, very smart racing right there from Moreau, got down behind the 68 of Buck and got back around Walbring for position. In fact, follows that 68 right past the 75 car.
Matt Moreau able to use the lead lap traffic to his advantage.
That was some heads-up racing from that 38 machine, but hey, guess what? That leaves a total of 4 cars on the lead lap, and right now, Dean Qualley is fighting someone he probably doesn't want to be fighting too much. These guys have a bit of a friendly rivalry going on, and he does not want to see that 60 car on the inside of him right now.
Oh, they are going at it. The 60 throwing it into the corner there, getting alongside, trying to make a move in one. Looks
Give
like
the
he will get
advantage
it clear.
to McNitt.
That will knock the 17 out of the final podium spot and give it to the 60.
In fact, McNitt, I would say, is quite a bit faster than Dean right now. He's opened up about a 4-car gap back to that 17 machine in pretty much one set of corners ever since he cleared him.
I could be wrong, but Dean may have overcooked his tires. Very rare to see for him. Normally, he is the one that saves the most for the end. But when you look at the advantage the 60 has right now, it's a little hard to tell what kind of tire Dean has under his car right now.
Well, looking at the scoreboard right now with 20 laps to go, the fastest car on the track, that 60 car, 17:02. The closest to him, our current leader, Dustin Buck, who we somehow missed making a pass for the lead at a 17:07. McNitt, the fastest car on the track the last few laps.
Larsen getting into the wall there, allowing Dustin to open that gap up.
Now this is what
Logan
Dean
now
wants to
trying to make
see.
his way through
He
lap
wants to see that
traffic.
McNitt car having a battle with the lap traffic, letting him catch back up. And there you see the 17 all of a sudden right back on the back bumper, actually outside of McNitt.
The 60 got the 666 a little squirrely, slowing both of their cars, and that allowed the 17 to get right there. 60 will keep his inside line. 17 will try to keep it on the outside, but it doesn't look like it'll work for him. 60 will keep it clear.
Bullring doing a smart little bit of racing there, getting up out of the line, letting those two lead lap cars clear him for position, letting them fight their fight. Back at the front, though, nothing really has changed. It's been about a 3-car gap between these two cars. Ever since they cleared traffic, they've got clear sailing ahead of them. No one anywhere near them now, so...
Larsen tapping the wall a little bit there, trying to use every inch of the racing surface available.
Right now, though, this is the biggest battle for position on the lead lap, I'll say. Because we got a couple of lappers right ahead of those two cars that are fighting pretty hard, tooth and nail for position. We got Bullring right behind these guys that are that seriously hoping to follow and do the same thing Matt Moreau did just a few laps ago and follow the leaders through, gain a couple of positions that way.
Well, it definitely worked for Matt. Once these lead lap cars catch up to him, it'll slow that whole pack down. Justin will try to capitalize. But for now, they're spread out enough to where the 60 can have a comfortable lead on the 17. The 75 will let him by, actually.
Well, you know what? At this point, you're not in that battle. That is a smart move as far as the racer's concerned. You don't have to do that. But sometimes that role's reversed, and you hope that guy gets out of your way. So the easiest way to do it is get out of his.
Yeah, there is no rule saying you have to, but it is nice when you're on the lead lap to have the lap cars help you out a little bit there.
10 laps to go here at the line. Last time by there, Dustin Buck out to an easy lead now. 0.8 of a second ahead of Larsen Parker. It's not often that we see Larsen... I'll call this struggling for that 18 car. They're usually out to like a 2 or 3 second lead at this point in the race.
But Dustin Buck has given him a run for his money this season. He isn't in any severe points battle at the moment. He joined our season late. However, he has regularly been right there with Larsen Parker.
Well, and we know that these two drivers right here on screen, they are quick in almost any car that we put them in. Larsen, stupid fast in Legends, stupid fast here in the mini stocks, does fairly solid in pretty much every other car I've seen him in. So it's he's definitely proven himself to be one driver to beat. Meanwhile, that gap between McNitt and Qualley has grown even more. Now about a half a straightaway between the two of them. And what did I say about Bullring wanting to follow the leaders through to gain a position? Well, he did exactly that on that 75 car.
Able to get clear of Mick. I believe that is 6th place for the 666.
It is. He is stealing all of those sixes right now. Dustin Buck once again catching that 33 of Austin Strang to put him one more lap down. Strang not giving that bottom line. He is going to fight a little bit for this position. And we see Buck get the inside line going into turn 3. Will easily clear him coming through 3 and 4.
That'll now be just one more barrier for Larsen Parker. Not only having to close the gap, but get around the 33.
Absolutely, and Larsen Parker was faster ever so slightly by about a 1/10.5 over Buck last lap around, but Buck was contending with that 33 car. That time across the line, they ran almost identical lap times. But 2 laps to go, one more time around at the line right here. Dustin Buck just has to get one more lap in here without a mistake. He has a 1 second gap over Larsen Parker in second place. Coming into turn 3, handily right now, that gap is gaining. Dustin Buck will win at the Bullring. Larsen Parker holds on for second just ahead of Logan McNitt, who fends off Dean Qualley in that 17 machine. Then we got Matt Moreau, Justin Bullring. Good to see him actually finish a race. This is probably the first race I think I've seen him finish on asphalt in a while. That is great to see. Mick Olson, Austin Strang, and Bradley Stefan not finishing the race. As we see our top 3 coming up onto the front straightaway to get their post-race picture. Well, Hunter, what are your thoughts on that event tonight? These guys put on some pretty solid racing throughout the majority of it. They get spread out a little bit, but it was pretty good racing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a short track if they wouldn't get spread out at least some point in the race. But before that long green flag run, there was side by side the whole time. We had multiple packs all fighting for position. We had Larsen, Dean, Logan McNitt, and Dustin Buck. And Larsen Parker, I think I named him. All of them fighting for the lead. Meanwhile, you had Justin Bullring, Matt Moreau, and Mick Olofsson trying to fight for the top 5.
Absolutely, and we got Ray Andrews in the comment section. Unk says, congratulations to the top 3 and good run, Justin. Absolutely, like I said earlier in the race, we're not used to seeing Justin running such a brightly colored car. It's almost kind of off-putting seeing him in that bright yellow car, but great run for him tonight. I think we should almost look into pulling him into the booth to do an honorary interview if he is going to step away from the league for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see Justin back up there, able to get a heat race win too. Don't forget that. Starting outside pole, unfortunately shuffled back with the higher line, but was able to work his way back to a 6th place run.
Definitely good run for that 666 machine, but what do you say we bring in our 3rd place finish here, Mr. Logan McNitt in that 60 Thomas the Tank Engine car. Logan, that was a bit of a battle between you and your series rival in the Legends and the mini stocks here, Dean Qualley. What was the advantage you found to get ahead of him?
I just suck at driving so I can save tires a little easier.
Well, that Strange Brew Racing crew, that's not something that's easy to beat, because we know that 17 team knows a thing or two about saving tires. So if you could save more than that team, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. It was a fun race. I was trying to catch Larsen, but I'd catch him, then I'd lose him, then I'd catch him, then I'd lose him. But it was fun.
Yeah, we were tracking you in the later stages of the race. At one point, you were faster than every car on track. You definitely had something up your sleeve there.
I just don't use brakes rarely. I just let it roll as much as I can and try to abuse that right front.
Well, it definitely worked out to your favor. Like I said, that Strange Brew Racing crew, they seem to know a thing or two about saving tires on that mini stock race car. Didn't seem to work for them tonight. It almost looks like he was trying a different strategy and burnt a little bit of his equipment.
Yeah, it was fun. Dean and I battle pretty good most of the time. I want to say thanks to Strange Brew, I'm actually part of them now, so we talk a lot of smack, but I'm still a part of them. It's fun.
Well, we're glad you have fun. It's a blast to watch there. We know you and Dean, you got something of a rivalry going there, kind of. We'll randomly hear during races a thing over the driver chatter there saying choo choo, and we always know to look at the two of you when that happens because you're usually close together.
Yeah, a little bit of in-team rivalry. Yeah, it goes back and forth. It's fun. Puts a little bit of motivation.
Well, it's fun to have a rival, especially one that you know races you clean, and makes for an interesting race to watch.
Oh yeah. It's always fun racing Dean. Next week I might just have to turn him for the hell of it.
Well, I got to make it interesting.
Yes, sir.
Well, Logan, is it just a Thomas the Tank Engine car, or do you have some sponsors on that car you want to give a shout out to?
Now I want to say thanks to Strange Brew Racing. I'm actually part of them, so it's fun. That's about it though. And my little brother for always beating me, showing me up.
Well, what are little brothers for?
Yeah, fuck. I need to start racing against him and beating him. It's unfair, man.
Well, you know what? You got to find something you're a little bit better and just, put him back in his place.
I'm figuring these mini stocks out a little bit. I might have a chance towards the end of the year.
Well, you've definitely showed you've had speed tonight, finishing just behind him with a lot of tire and a lot of speed left. Congratulations on third.
Hey, thanks, fellas. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you next week.
Hopefully.
Yep, later.
All right. Well, you know what, Hunter? It's kind of weird pulling Larsen Parker in right for the second place interview.
It's definitely not something you see every week.
No, but for second place right now, Mr. Larsen Parker in that 18 car. Larsen, how hard was that race tonight?
I didn't like it. I was telling Logan, I feel like the legend cars should have ran here and these should have ran at South Boston, in my opinion.
Well, you missed a solid race at South Boston in the Legends car, but
Yeah.
you still got out there. You put on a good show. It's not often that we interview you for second place, not first. But you know what? Sometimes it's just how the cards fall. Racing can be very unpredictable that way.
Oh yeah, and especially in cars like these where it all comes down to who saves tires the best. And I already knew that I didn't get really any practice coming into this race, and I just felt like I was driving the car too hard. But by the time I realized it was too late to change anything. So I'll take second for points wise and just keeping me in the championship.
Well, and how much did the lap traffic there in the last 20 laps factor into Dustin getting around you and opening that gap up?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of room for lap cars to move out of the way at this track, so I mean, I wish they kind of moved a little sooner. I did have to move Justin out of the way to get around him, but that's just a part of it. I get it. There's no room at this track, and if they probably went any higher, there's a wall or something. So yeah, no, I get it, but yeah, it definitely made it hard for the leaders.
Well, either way, Larson, you put on a great show. You led a good number of laps there. I don't have an exact count on me, but you definitely got out to an early lead, led a lot of laps, put on a great show with Dustin there through that lap traffic. So, that's still something to go home and be proud of.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take this over anything else any other day. I was telling Dustin I wasn't even supposed to make it into this race, so I'll gladly take second over last place.
Well, definitely good to see you back on the track there, Larson. There, I won't lie, I was secretly happy when I saw you didn't make the Legends race because it meant I might be able to make some points, but I lost to Dean. So you know what? I wish you were there.
Yeah, I'll be back in the Legends next week with there'll be a little something different with my car, so I'm excited to see it and excited for you guys to see it.
Are you removing the tire hacks?
Not on the mini stock, no. I need all that I can get, but in the
Oh,
legend car,
okay.
yeah. No
All
more
right.
tire dope treatment on the.
Well, your transmission parts from your Legends car didn't help me out much, so I promise I'll return them. Maybe.
I mean, we could find something if you need them. If you need those parts, it's all right.
But I'm sure you got a few names on that car you want to give a shout out to, Larson, before we let you go tonight.
Yeah, Generator Source for sticking with me, RKM for keeping me usually pretty fast and keeping me consistent, and 918 Designs on the mini stock. He designs my mini stock for me, and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Well, congratulations, Larson. You pulled off a heck of a race there. You deserved everything you got out of it. Second place, still nothing to laugh at.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take it any day.
And we can't wait to see. There's what I believe 2 races left in this season. So you've got pretty much both championships almost wrapped up at this point.
Yeah, that the last race is definitely gonna be interesting with me probably not being able to make it coming off of a surgery the day before, but I'm hoping I can expand the gap now that I should be back for the rest of the races.
Well,
Or you might have to delay that surgery a couple days, come here and race the season finale.
Nah, I'll do it one-handed if I need to. I've done it before, but it's not fun.
don't be telling him that, Hunter. We need to close the gap a little bit on him.
Hey, if I don't get to win the championship, nobody else can.
All right, congratulations once again on second place, Larson. I can't wait to see what the remainder of this season brings.
Yeah, hopefully it's something good.
I'm sure it will be.
All right, I'll see you guys.
All right, well, Hunter, that means we've only got one more person left to talk to. The guy that stole the win away from that 18 car right here in that number 68 mini stock. Blue and white car out there. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of stickers on that car, but maybe the rumor about stickers adding 50 horsepower is wrong.
Yeah, maybe I should get with Mick and get something painted up for these since I actually been enjoying running them and coming and hanging out.
Well,
Yeah, the mini stocks are definitely fun cars.
Yeah, I didn't know how that was going to shake out there. Obviously the heat race didn't go super well, but and I started shotgun on the field. But like, I don't know if you guys had me in camera shot there at the start. I felt a lot more comfortable, I think, than others going a lot lower on the apron. And I only get by a few people there on the start, really cutting down on the apron. The rumble strips don't do anything to upset the car, so you can get down on the bottom and drive off the corner and kind of shortcut it a little bit, I guess. But yeah, once Larson and I got into first and second there, I just kind of rode. I kind of felt like he was probably eating off his right front a lot more than I was with the line that he was running, and I just kind of took things easy and my what I was hoping is that the race would come to me with about 20 to go, and um, we battled a little bit. I didn't have to try super hard to get by him there that last time. I got up there and tried getting around him, but I wasn't. I felt like with as much time as left in the race that I was gonna get around him, and I didn't have to push my car and hurt my tires doing it. So that's why it kind of took me a few attempts at it, because I was more or less just hoping for a mistake out of him. And they're not the easiest cars to keep on the bottom either. You really got to hit the corners right, get your entry right to get it down on the bottom and drive off the corner really well too.
Well, and we asked Larson there just how much that lap traffic factored into the race between the two of you. So I think it's only fair that we ask you the same question. How much do you feel that lap traffic factored into you getting around that 18 car?
You know, we both had to go through the same cars, and I I know I got through the traffic fairly decent, but I felt like he did too. I just if the lap cars aren't there at all, I'm still getting around them. So I don't know. I mean, they did a good job of not being in the way, and we caught people racing for positions too, and they couldn't they couldn't give us room without losing out on their racing too. So Larson did a really good job of getting through traffic, I felt, and I think I did a fairly decent job myself. I don't think it was that big of a deal with the amount of laps that were left because we both got around them, and I ended up pulling away from them anyways.
Well, we commented on that during the broadcast that, the lap traffic has no obligation to get out of the leader's way. It is onto the faster car to get around the slower traffic, absolutely. And like you mentioned the point that they are in their own race. So yeah, you're definitely right. They have no obligation to get out of the race, but they did a masterful job of not affecting the race for the win while still racing their own race.
Right. And the guys that are physically racing for position and they're battling each other, I mean, they shouldn't yield to the leaders while they're trying to improve their position or fight people off. And like the other thing is there's yellows in this, and if somebody's going to go one lap down, they should be fighting the leader. It's just it all matters where you are in proximity to the other cars you're racing to. If you're a lap down already and nobody's around you, I mean, I I pull off and give a lot of room, but we're all here to race too. So the lap traffic I think did a really good job tonight, and it's unreasonable to expect somebody that's physically racing someone on the racetrack to yield at all. So um it it was fine. It worked out, and those guys that we were passing were having a great battle themselves.
Absolutely, a lot of great racing all around the racetrack. It didn't really matter where we looked. I know there's a good portion in that first half of the race that we didn't even focus on you and Larson because there's such great racing in the back of the pack.
Yeah, and for a while there, I didn't care about going up and trying to take the lead. I wanted tires left at the end of the race, and like I said, I felt like his line was eating the right front off, and I didn't want to get in front of him and show him what I was doing because I really felt, during the race that my line was better and it was going to prevail at the end, and I ended up being right, but um, I didn't. I didn't want to go up and battle him and get in front of him and then have him switch his lineup and have him be able to save on tires and make it interesting at the end. It kind of played out exactly how I wanted it to. We got to the point where we were pretty late in the race, and I had tire and he didn't. And when I went around him and showed him the line I was running, it didn't matter because his line ate his right front off.
Well, great strategy play by you on that point then. Glad to see it, and I'm sure you got a few names on that car you want to give a haul or two to thank for helping you out.
Oh, well, yeah, I need to get Buckwild Racing on the car. Maybe, like I said, I should get with Mick, have him paint me up something. The number's right. I guess that's all that matters. But it's just a lot of fun to come over here and race. I don't get to race Larson in the ARCA cars, and he's really good. He spanked me in the last race of these, and I didn't know what to expect because I kind of feel like he's better in these cars than I am. I picked a better line tonight, and like I said, that the line prevailed. Larson was fast.
Absolutely. And speaking of Buckwild Racing, we're not going to say too much right now, but we have some big plans going ahead with the Rusty Misfits Racing League, which henceforth, going into Season 7, will go back to the original name of the Extreme Forces Racing League. But Buck Wild's coming on in a big way.
Yeah, I really like being part of this league. I like what you guys do, and it's a good group of guys, and I kind of wanted to do something to give back. I really like the 87 cars. I don't know that I make all the races, but I'm going to toss $150 sponsorship to the league, and whoever wins the championship will, I don't know what it'll end up with, 75 and then do 50-25 or something. We'll get it figured out, but somebody will walk away with some prize money at the end of the season. It'll be fun. They're my favorite cars. I'm hoping to steal the show several times. Leo will do really well too, but with it being summer, I don't know that I make every race, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoy those cars, and for whatever reason, I do fairly well in them. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The tire saving guys are going to rise to the top in those things for sure.
Absolutely.
It'll
So,
definitely be interesting to watch.
yeah, you're going to definitely have to pay attention to the Season 7 schedule when it gets publicly announced. It's been announced 2 degrees in the within the league as far as the current members. And Dustin Buck hopping on here with Buck Wild Racing as the primary sponsor of the Buck Wild 87s. And we may or may not have a new broadcaster, but not so new of a broadcaster helping us out with that one. So pay attention to for an official announcement here coming up hopefully fairly soon.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Those cars are just so fun, and Lee will be really tough in those. He's taught me a lot about tire savings over the year, and it really kind of taught me how to drive those cars. And man, he's got a good tire game in those. He's he beats some of the best guys on the service. I think he does better against him than I do.
Absolutely. Well, Dustin, we're going to let you go here. Congratulations on the win tonight here at Las Vegas, the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You going to go hit the strip up after this?
Hey, I'm gonna go to bed. this old man's got work tomorrow.
Oh, come on. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, unfortunately, the track is in Vegas, and we were virtually in Vegas, and I'm stuck in a town of 220 people in Iowa. It's not going to get real crazy here tonight, I'll tell you that much.
Alrighty. Well, once again, congratulations on the win tonight. That was an amazing race, and we look forward to seeing what the last few races this season will bring.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and big thanks to Dean for doing the league. I know you guys help out with points and other things too. It's really nice to have a place to call home and place to look forward to racing at. Like I said, it's a good group of guys that put together clean racing. It's just really fun to be part of this.
Oh, definitely. It's a blast, between racing ARCA on Mondays, which I've missed the last few races due to various obligations outside of sim racing, and but the Legends on Tuesday, I have far more enjoyed that series than I actually thought I would coming into it. I am so looking forward to Season 7 in those cars.
Oh, you missed a good one last night. Reese spanked us. That's what he did. He put on an old-fashioned butt whooping, but we all kind of got on different strategies, and he sure picked the right one. He just walked us.
Well, don't be spoiling the surprise. I haven't watched the broadcast yet.
Wow.
All right, Dustin. Well, congratulations on the win. We need to wrap this show up for the night.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
All right, Hunter. Well, what was your biggest takeaway from tonight's race at the Bullring?
I think tires came into play a lot more than some drivers were expecting tonight. we saw heavy hitters like Dean Qualley, who are usually known for being able to save tires, fall off pretty early. You had guys like Logan McNitt and Dustin Buck driving from the back of the field, being able to use better tires to work all the way to the top. Dustin Buck starting last, able to make his way to the final podium position tonight, standing on top of the podium.
Well, and next week we go to Thompson Speedway, which a very difficult paperclip shaped track. It's going to be an interesting point shakeup, I think. But we might see teams like Dean Qualley and that 17 Strange Brew team come back to their form in tire saving, maybe.
Yeah, we will have to see next week.
But either way, thank you for joining me, Hunter. But I think we need to call this event a night.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. I am tired. I need some milk, and I need some sleep.
Well, thanks for joining the broadcast, everyone. Hunter for joining me. I am Tom Quiring. This has been the Falcon Graphics Paved Mini Stock Series with the Rusty Misfits Racing League. Come back with us next Tuesday. We are at Thompson Speedway. It is going to be a blast.